हेलो माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, कैसे हैं आप लोग। उम्मीद करती हूँ आप सब अच्छे होंगे। चैप्टर नंबर 30, द स्लीपर, फ्रॉम द बुक थीफ, रिटन बाय मार्कस यूजैक। द स्लीपर. Max Vanderberg slept for 3 days. In certain experts of that sleep, Liesel watched him. You might say that by the third day it became an obsession to check on him, so to see if he was still breathing. She could now interpret his signs of life from the movement of his lips, his gathering beard, and the twigs of hair that moved ever in slightly when his head twitched in the dream state. Often, when she stood over him, there was the mortifying thought that he had just woken up, his eyes splitting upon a viewer to watch her watching. The idea of being caught out plagued and enthused her at the same time. She dreaded it. She invited it. Only when Mama called out to her could she drag herself away, simultaneously soothed and disappointed that she might not be there when he woke. Sometimes towards the end of the marathon of sleep, he spoke. There was a reticle of murmured names, a checklist: Isaac, Aunt Ruth, Sarah, Mama, Walter, Hitler. Finally, family, friend, enemy. They were all under the covers with him, and at one point he appeared to be struggling with himself. Nien, he whispered. It was repeated 7 times. No. Liesel, in the act of watching, was already noticing the similarities between the stranger and herself. They both arrived in the state of agitation on Himmel Street. They both nightmared. When the time came, he awoke with the nasty thrill of disorientation. His mouth opened a moment after his eyes, and he sat up, right angled. Or a patch of voice escaped his mouth. When he saw the upside down face of a girl above him, there was the fruitful moment of unfamiliarity and the grasp for recollection. He decoded exactly where and when he was currently sitting. After a few seconds, he managed to scratch his head, the rustle of kindling, and he looked at her. His movements were fragmented, and now that they were open, his eyes were swampy and brown, thick and heavy. As a reflex action, Liesel backed away. She was too slow. The stranger reached out, his bed-warmed hand taking her by the forearm. Please, his voice also had on. As if possessing fingernails, he pressed it into her flesh. Papa, loud, please, soft. It was late afternoon, grey and gleaming, but it was only dirty colored light that was permitted entrance into the room. It was all the fabric of curtains allowed. If you are optimistic, think of it as bronze. When Papa came in, he first stood in the doorway and witnessed Max Vanderberg's gripping fingers and his desperate face. Both held onto Liesel's arm. I see you two have met, he said. Max's fingers started cooling. यहाँ पे होता है हमारा chapter number 30 finish from the book thief. Thanks everyone. Bye for now. मिलेंगे हम next video में with chapter number 31, the swapping of nightmares. Bye.